Welcome. It's Craig with Craig's To-Do List here at WWNY at our digital news desk, our D&D. We love acronyms here. So today, I have the pleasure of talking with Julie Guernsey and
Shauna Sharpna.
exactly. And I pull a blank because that's what I do. Anyway, cool. So while we're all like buckling down this winter and hating winter and thinking nothing's going on, these great people have been scheduling things and great events through the whole season at the Clayton Opera House, which is the premier performing arts venue in the North Country. So I want to give you guys a chance to talk about your season and what's going on, because you have a lot of stuff.
Yes, we always have a lot of stuff, and we've been planning this for well over a year, and it's exciting. Some of the events that we have coming this year are new and exciting. Some of them are repeats, but we're pretty happy with the way our season came through for this year.
So I'm looking at your schedule. March 6th, Peter Antonio?
Yeah, Peter
Antonio?
Yep.
It says mind-reading comedian who blends stand-up and psychic style illusions for hilarious and mind-bending experience. Can you talk about that? Is this a repeated performance?
This is a repeat.
Yes.
Yeah, last year he came, I believe, in May, and when he left, everybody had a smile on his face, and they're like, "Bring him back." So I think Julie immediately rebooked him, and he's coming March 6th, and it was just a really good time. It was
Yeah, it's funny. Some of the things that he does, like he'll do stuff on the stage, and he'll be pointing somebody out and say, "Well, you have this going on in your life," and they're like, "Yeah, how do you?" And you just can't figure out how he does it. But it's just a fun time, so people can get out and relax and have a good time.
And there's a lot of audience interaction in this
Yes.
performance?
Yes, a lot of audience interaction with this one. Yeah, so yeah.
And so, and I see on April 2nd, you have the famous David Sedaris back.
Yes.
I personally am a huge fan. I've seen David Sedaris in Los Angeles. I've seen David Sedaris in Washington, D.C. And I saw David Sedaris when he came before the Clayton Opera House. So I know his work really well. Do you want to talk a little bit about David? I'm sure that's going to sell out.
We're excited to have him back. We've got a really great relationship with him now. He was here a few years ago in October. Before that, he hadn't been at the Opera House since like 2009. So he's really popular. We're just excited to have this relationship with him and let him come every few years and speak. So he's got some new work that he'll be talking about. We'll be selling his books. So it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. And David is it's interesting that we still have people like David Sedaris, writers who are humorists that can sort of, perform in front of an audience and bring an audience in, because writers today are kind of like, don't do the tour like they used to. So that's really interesting. And then April 18th, you have the amazing Bubble Factory. Is this for kids?
It is. It's part of our Merry Mascot Family series, and this guy is going to get on the stage, and he's going to make bubbles that like you've never seen bubbles before. He's probably going to call a couple kids up, and he's going to put them in bubbles. I mean, there's just going to be bubbles everywhere.
Bubbles inside of bubbles, smoke inside of bubbles, colors inside of bubbles, the stuff that you can do with bubbles that you wouldn't even imagine.
Wow. So is this a new event?
Yes.
Has this been there before?
Nope,
No.
first time.
Okay,
First
cool.
time, yeah.
Yeah, well, it sounds really fun. And then moving into May, you have Maggie's Wake. That's not actually a wake, but it's
No,
if it
not
is, I'm like,
actually a
how do you
wake.
know she's going to die before then? So that's like, oh wait, did you use the psychic to help you with that? Maybe that's what happened. So talk a little bit about that group.
Yeah, so they're a Canadian group. They do Celtic and folk music, just an easy-going, nice entertainment, not very expensive. So, the tickets are fairly inexpensive. And, it's Memorial Day weekend. It's kind of like our kickoff to the summer. So we're excited about that.
Cool. And then, we always know the Irish wakes are fun. So don't be confused or deceived by the name there.
Right, and you'd probably be able to get a drink. So, if
Yeah.
you want,
Well,
have a beer or whatever, and then
It
it
wouldn't
makes
be an
it a
Irish
real
wake without a drink.
Exactly.
And then 29th, May 29th, you have the Frontiers. So this is a Journey tribute band?
It is. We actually had the chance to see them at one of our conferences we went to, and they just they have a female singer, which is different, but it's amazing. They nailed it. They nailed Journey, and they're known as their #1 tribute band for them.
Well, the thing I think that's interesting about Journey is a lot of young people maybe not know Journey, but they know all their songs. Their songs are everywhere. You hear them on the radio all the time. So definitely. And then talk about your Out of Nowhere tour on June 6th.
Oh, Tig Notaro. We are so excited about having Tig Notaro come. She's a pretty popular comedian, and this is part of Pride Month. So she's coming. We tried to get her for Pride weekend, but she couldn't come during that time, so we're bringing her in for Pride Month. We're very excited about this. She tours all over. She mostly does bigger venues than ours, but we were able to work out a routing with her. So she's coming up to Clayton and doing a comedian.
That's really cool. I know her work. She had a TV series she created. I think it was on Amazon called One Mississippi. Wasn't that it?
I
or
believe
something like
so,
that?
yeah.
Her book is really great too. I read her book a while
She's
back.
still in a lot of TV series too.
Yeah, she does a
Star
lot of guest
Trek
starring.
and,
she's
the morning show.
She's now the queen of the guest starring. there.
Yes.
Yeah, you will recognize her definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. And then on the 12th, Jay White's Sweet Caroline. Is this a candy thing or it's a Neil Diamond tribute?
Yep, Neil Diamond tribute. He's supposed to be the best Neil Diamond tribute. He looks a lot like him. He's endorsed by Neil Diamond, and he sounds a lot like him too. I have had the opportunity to see him. It'll be a lot of fun. Who doesn't like Neil Diamond music, right?
He's another musician whose songs are everywhere that you're going to recognize, even if you don't know who originally sang them. Especially in the popularity of the movie that just came out, Sung Blue, which I reviewed, which I really liked. His music is everywhere. And he also went to high school with Barbra Streisand. That's a useless trivia that you didn't need, but there you go.
There you go.
June 18th, An Evening with Judy Kuhn, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's our Broadway person this year. If you've ever watched Pocahontas, she was the voice of Pocahontas and sang the big song that was in the movie. And she's also been in Les Miserables and a whole bunch of other big Broadway shows.
Well, we love Broadway. You're going to get a big turnout for that. And then June 25th, Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. That's Ricky Skaggs. Let's talk about that.
Skaggs. Yeah, the Ricky Skaggs, big name in bluegrass. We were very excited when we were able to work out his routing as well. So we're pretty excited about that. We try to do 1 or 2 bluegrass a year as well. We were fortunate to work out Ricky Skaggs this year.
That's going to sell soon. Bluegrass fans, I'm sure, are going to be banging on the box office door for that. That's a huge name. And then cool, and then like right around 4th of July, you have the Tom Dorsey Orchestra. So it's really interesting that you have all these different styles of music. You have bluegrass, you have Irish, and now you have big band. Talk a little bit about that.
Yep. Go
So
ahead.
yeah, the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. It's a swing era band. It's been around forever, and they're gonna get you up, and you're gonna be shaking in your seats. So we're excited about them, and we've had lots of people request to bring them, and we finally got them, and it's gonna be a fun night.
So is there dancing allowed for that, or don't you know? Is that a special permit?
Special permit. No, we usually allow people to get up and kind of dance in the back and
Yeah,
stuff.
a
for
little
those
bit,
kind of
yeah,
things.
okay.
Yeah. When we had Glenn Miller Orchestra, we had people get up and dance in the back of the hall.
And then that's followed by July 7th, the Syracuse Orchestra. I don't know if a lot of people understand that we have a world-class orchestra just down the road here, so that's cool. I'm assuming they're just going to play classics, or don't you know?
They usually do some pops and some classics. We don't know what their set list is yet. Last year they did some movie themes and some classical music, so they usually mix that up a little bit.
And then on July 15th, you have something called Sincerely Sondheim with Nicholas Rodriguez.
Yep.
He's also a Broadway star, no?
He is.
Yes.
He is. He's a pretty big Broadway star, been in a lot of stuff. Again, we had the opportunity to see him at one of the conferences we went to. And he tells stories about Sondheim, then sings a song, and it's just a very intimate evening, and he's a very, very
Right.
good singer.
Well, Sondheim is one of the greatest American artists that ever lived, and that's my opinion. So don't be knocking on the door of the station complaining. I can't believe we lost him, but we still have all his music left. July 23rd, Robin Wall Kimmerer.
Robin Wall Kimmerer, she is an environmental speaker, and we're actually doing a partnership with Save the River on this. So they're helping us to promote. We're splitting the proceeds. She is actually from Syracuse. She's a American Indian Indigenous speaker, and she speaks about. She's going to do a sweetgrass talk about sustainability and the environment and that kind of thing. She's very fascinating, very, very fascinating.
Cool. And then on July 30th, Joe Bouchard Band?
Yes.
Joe Bouchard himself, one of the original members of Blue Oyster Cult, local. You know, everybody's looking forward to him coming,
Wow.
performing.
That's a great pick. Yeah.
It is, and he's a great guy. And you know, he was around a couple years ago for the big North Country Rock show we did, that was at the Opera House, I should say. And you know, people are calling and they're excited to see him again. They love their local celebrities.
Yes, true. Sister Hazel's August 6th. That's talk a little bit about that. They sound familiar.
Yeah, so their biggest song is All For You. You know, you probably know a couple.
Yes.
It was my era when I was in college. It was big in the, you know, the mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. So they're a very popular band, still going around. They still sound just as good as they did 20 years ago. So we're looking forward to having them.
And August 13th, you have another theater presentation, right, or a single performance. Is this formerly Eve Ensler, correct?
Correct, yes. She wrote the Vagina Monologues. That's her probably most popular work. She does have some new stuff out there. So she is actually, for a little bit of an upcharge, she's doing a meet and greet prior to the show for up to 50 people. That's a very limited. And then she does a talk, she does a little interview, and then she does a Q&A.
Cool.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
That'll be really popular. The Little Theater of Watertown produced her show last year, I believe, last winter, and it was really well attended. And so we come to one of our favorite events, August 22nd and 23rd, the Bacon Brothers, Kevin Bacon of 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, and several movies, is in a rock band with his brothers.
His brother, Michael. Yep,
right?
Yep.
And this is sold out last year, and they're going to be here twice now?
They actually sold out 2 years ago. They sold out. Last year they sold out for 2 nights.
Yeah.
And then they're coming back for 2 nights again. They've just been so popular. And we had so many people on the waiting list that couldn't get in at both years, all 3 years. And so we decided we're going to bring them back again. So.
Are tickets available for that yet?
They're on sale to patrons.
Right.
Currently on sale to patrons. I will tell you, the first year they were here, they never went on sale to the public. They sold out before.
Right.
Those tickets went on sale to the public. Last year, I think they went on sale to the public, but they were very, very limited seats by then. So, and they're selling pretty well already.
Yeah. So if you're interested, you got to keep an eye out for when they become available because they're going to sell really fast.
March 21st, they go on sale to the
March
public.
21st. So yeah, you heard it here first. August 27th, Firefall. Is this a rock band?
It is. It's a classic American country rock band, I guess, country rock. They have some pretty big hits from the 70s. And, you know, people are we try to bring a band like them once a year. And this year it's Firefall. And last year I think it was Orleans, you know, like.
So they're along the same lines as Orleans and Pure Prairie League and Atlanta Rhythm Section. And so they have that type of a music. It's like a classic rocks, easy rock music. They're a lot of fun. You'll know them. You look up their music, you're gonna know what songs they sing.
Cool. And then following that, we have a Tom Petty tribute band, correct? Tom Petty is one of my favorites. Whenever I think about my time and when I lived in California, I think of Tom Petty. Such a California iconic performer. All his music's, not all of it, but most of it's about living in California. So is this new this year?
It is. It's they're called the Insiders, and you know, to do Tom Petty, it takes a special person, you know. So we were looking for a long time for the right tribute band for them, and we found them. They're amazing. So you know, we can't hear Tom Petty anymore, only just on the radio. So come see the Insiders, and you know, you'll shut your eyes and you'll think that Tom is up there on the stage.
Well, I'll probably go to that for sure because he's one of my favorites, and there's something a little rebellious and fun about Tom Petty.
Yes, there is.
Tom Petty's music. And then you have a string quartet after that on September 19th. It's called Five for Fighting.
Yeah, so Five for Fighting is a group, a band, but the lead singer comes and he brings a string quartet. So the string quartet plays the background music and he sings the songs that are from the band Five for Fighting. Just a neat event, just something different. So you don't have the big band stuff, the drums or any of that behind. It's just a string quartet that plays the music.
Cool. That sounds like an interesting experience, completely different.
Yeah, there's a video from one of their sets on our website, right on our calendar. You can take a look at it if you're interested.
So when you ease into the fall, you have October 10th, you have Walking with Ghosts, an evening with true crime hauntings with Amy Bruni. What's that about?
Well, she is a paranormal researcher, done a lot of TV shows, and she's just going to come and talk about different ghosts and different things. And we've had a big following for like Halloween type events in October. You know, we've had haunted objects, we had serial killers last year, and this year we're going to talk about ghosts. So,
and she was on the show Ghost Hunters.
yes.
So it should be a really interesting. People are fascinated with things like ghosts and serial killers and stuff. So we're trying to ease into that a little bit for the fall, for October. It's the perfect time, Halloween. So
Yeah, Halloween's my favorite holiday because it's my birthday. And my birthday wish list will be loaded up into this article. No, just kidding. But yes, we love Halloween. And lastly, I have here November 7th, Leland Faulkner, Dreamcatcher. This sounds really interesting. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So he was here this past year. He did an arts and education program for us. We bus students in about 3 or 4 times a year. They get to see a performance on the stage for free. He was here. He does a little bit of a magic, a little bit of bringing the kids on stage to do some things. So we decided to bring him back for a public performance. So this is another one of our part of our Merry Mascot series where it's being sponsored. He's really good. At the end of his show for the arts and ed, he had this origami dove, and all of a sudden it was a real dove. And everybody was fascinated.
We had so
with
many
him,
kids, like grandparents and parents would say, who was that they saw? You know, it was probably one of our biggest responses we had. So that's why we decided to bring him back.
Well, it's hard to impress children, that's for sure.
Yes.
These days,
Exactly.
with
That's
the
why we brought him
technology the
back.
way it is, I would bring him back too. If you got a wow out of a kid, I would bring him back too. So basically, this is your set season, but you will have other events as well, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we'll have some rentals and
And they
some
come
other
in
things
during
that
the year,
will-
yep.
that will come in during the year. We may add some stuff to the fall. We're still trying to work out a show for May. That's been very challenging, just getting them to commit. So we may add some stuff. Just keep an eye on the website, and the website's always updated.
Yeah, this is really cool. You guys have such a great variety. I'm really looking forward to some of these myself. Cool. So yeah, check out all the events on the Clayton Opera House website. And I also do individual posts for certain events. And we have updates of the morning news sometimes, correct? Yeah.
Correct,
So
yeah.
check it out. You guys, thanks so much for coming by. That's the Clayton Opera House season in a nutshell. And they got a lot of great stuff coming on. Check out all the events on Craig's to-do list.